Okay, I am here with Father Kevin Manion, is it pronounced?
Yes, that's my
And I've been stumbling upon you over and over because I've been constantly taking off my hat as you've come near. But I finally got a chance to interview you at the hotel as we're getting ready to leave. Father, you're here according to your badge for the Association for the Beatification and Canonization of Someone. Can you tell me about that someone?
All right, Father Aloysius Ellacuria. I was his secretary for the last 8 years of his life, and he passed away. He died in 1981. That's about 35 years ago. When he died, he had several years of a reputation of being a very holy priest, a miracle worker, and a priest in whose ministry people would visit him if they had some very difficult problems. You'd hear people say, well, here, why don't you go see Father Aloysius? So whenever this was in the Archdiocese of Los Angeles, a Claretian priest. He was born in 1905, died in 1981.
Now, what's a Claretian priest?
Claretian are like the Franciscans, the Dominicans. It's an order of priests. Actually, it's a congregation that was founded in Spain in 1848 about, and the Archbishop Claret, Saint Anthony Mary Claret, the founder and the only canonized saint of Vatican Council I. So of the church fathers that attended Vatican Council I, Saint Anthony Mary Claret, who is Father Aloysius's founder, the only canonized saint. So quite interesting. It was the time of turmoil in Europe at the time, just after the time of the French Revolution and all of those ideas.
The various movements that took place in
And he's Aloysius from the Basque area of Spain. So the Basques are not Spanish, although on the map of Spain it includes the Basque area.
They're distinct nationality.
But he had a very unique personality together with his heritage, very pious, and was known, I guess, as a wonder worker. In some cases, people claimed there were miracles, they claimed they were cured, or that he could read their souls and so forth. I drove him around. I was impressed with him when he blessed me one time in 1971, and I remember the blessing even to this day. So when he was founding a congregation in Fatima, Portugal, and after 2 years he returned to the States, to Los Angeles, and I offered my services to drive him around and to help him, and I became his private secretary on certain matters that he needed. He also had other secretaries as well, but it was a very interesting time in my life. But Aloysius, for me, he was just always just normal. He had a personality, and he very much in control of the situation that he was in, and it was always with I would say, it was always with a gentleness. He always was able to show people how much, how important they were in God's eyes and so forth, and he was a truly person full of love and charity. He was devoted to especially the sick and the dying, and he even said in one of his writings, he consecrated himself to Almighty God. He wanted to assist the dying until the end of time, if that's possible. So I imagine that's from heaven.
That's probably his vocation now.
That's right. Now, he was a formator. He was in seminary formation. So with the Claretians for about 30 years, he was there instructing the young men as they entered the Claretian religious congregation, and he taught them. He was also a professor of Latin and Greek, but he had all the different variety of assignments, including he was the treasurer, he was the rector, he was the
so he was a normal priest in every way.
He was even usually the religious are not necessarily in diocesan work like as pastors of a parish, but at that particular time the Claretians also had parishes. So twice he was a pastor, once in Phoenix at Immaculate Heart of Mary, and he beautified it. He was there for about 3 years, and then another 3 years in San Antonio, Texas, which is the mother house of the Claretian missionaries here in this country. And he beautified, he received some award from the city, but he had such a personality and such a nice way with him that people even, I would say, after his death, 10, 20, now 30, almost 35 years, they still visit his grave, tell stories, pray. Of course, I'm working on...
That's what I call making an impression.
Oh, yeah, yeah. If after your death they still remember you.
So if they're doing it
10
30 years later, then you've really done the job.
So-
Father, if there's, I'm not trying to rush you, but we're packing up my car now. So let me ask this: is there a website where people can find out more about Father and the cause?
Yes, it's simple to remember, Aloysius.com. And just you get the spelling of Aloysius correct, ALOYSIUS.com.
Hey, Father Kevin, thank you so much for your time, and my apologies for the abrupt ending, but we're literally packing our
That's
car with our
right, that's
suitcases.
great.